All right, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening again. Thank you again for joining me today in this Nimble training webinar, and we're going to go through the entire application. If you have any questions or feedback during today's session, you can type them in the questions box, and we're going to cover them at the end of today's session. So again, let's go over what Nimble is before we get started. All right, like I said, Nimble is an easy-to-use CRM that works for you in MS 365, Google Workspace, and everywhere else you work. It automatically combines your contacts, communication histories, email inboxes, and calendar appointments. It also integrates with social media and almost 200 different SaaS applications. All right, so let me go into the actual application. Let me move some things around. Okay, so here we are on Nimble's Today page. Let me make that full screen for you. This page was designed to allow you to completely customize it to your specific needs and the role you play in your company. So before we get to the Today page, let's go into importing your contacts. So to do that, let's go to this little circle here on the top right. You click it, go to Networks and Imports. And here you can import all your contacts and connect your emails. So let's first make sure that your email is connected to Nimble. So you can just click Email Accounts right here. Nimble supports all email providers for as long as they are IMAP. Now, even if you're not IMAP and you have POP, you can try connecting your email provider to see if they can enable IMAP for you. If you're using Microsoft 365, we have great news for you because it's really easy to connect your email and calendars and even import your contacts. It can all be done with just one click. So if we go here, you can click Connect Microsoft 365. And if you have all of these checked, then it'll automatically do that for you. And also remember, if you're importing your contacts, make sure to tag all of them to ensure that both you and all of your other users know who imported what contacts and from where. So for Gmail, connecting is also really easy. You just go down here and click that. And you can connect your calendars and connect your emails and contacts. Now, if you're using any other IMAP type emails, you can simply select the IMAP option right here. Okay, as for social networks, down here, Nimble currently only directly integrates with Twitter. That means that after you connect your Twitter account to Nimble, you'll also be able to see the entire history of the conversations you've had with your prospects and customers on Twitter directly inside your Nimble account. And you can see them together with your email conversations. Facebook, together with Instagram and LinkedIn, unfortunately made the business decision a few years ago to close their APIs. So we're currently not able to directly integrate with them. But we do still make it possible for you to use Nimble on all your favorite social networks via our browser extension called Nimble Prospector. And I'll preview that today in a later section. It's possible to import your LinkedIn connections into Nimble too by downloading them from your LinkedIn account and then using our CSV import to bring them into Nimble. And again, when you're importing contacts, just make sure to apply tags to all of them before you import them. And if you want to make sure that your LinkedIn contacts are always up to date in your Nimble accounts, you can either run this export-import process periodically, or you can use the Nimble Prospector browser extension to bring them in as you add them to your LinkedIn network. And note that Nimble is always going to automatically merge all duplicates if they have the same email address. All right, so back to importing contacts. We already kind of covered that you can import contacts into Nimble from a CSV file. So you can do that by going up to Quick Connect here, clicking CSV. And then here we have our Import Wizard for CSV files. This is really convenient as a lot of companies are using spreadsheets to list their customers and prospects and other contacts. You can either first make sure that all of your column names correspond with the names of the fields in Nimble, or you can manually map them upon import. So let me show you a quick example. I have this file right here. It's a CSV file. And as you can see, we have these kind of like automatic mappings, but you can also save this mapping or choose a different one. And we have a lot of different options here for you. So if you're transitioning from a different CRM or importing contacts from LinkedIn, it's really likely that we already have the mapping saved here for you. So that'll help you a lot when you're importing your contacts from different places. Okay, so let's move on to the Today page. Now that your emails and calendars are connected and your contacts have been imported, the Today page can be populated with valuable business information. Like I said before, the Today page is completely customizable, so you and everybody else in your company can pick what widgets they want to see. The widgets can be moved around, removed, and duplicated. You can either click on the Manage Widget button right up here, and it'll open this menu for you where you can drag and drop your widgets. Or you can click on the 3 dots on the top right-hand corner of each widget and select if you want to move it, hide it, or duplicate it. Duplicating your widgets can be useful if you'd like to be able to see your personal calendar in one box and your team calendar in another without having to change the view in the drop-down menu. You have the ability to move widgets around, so the ones that are the most important to you, like your calendars, your tasks, etc., are at the top. So let's go into each of the individual widgets. So let's start with calls. I think that's down here. Yep. All right, so the call logging widget can track all your interactions with your customers to help stay on top of your follow-ups and improve relationships and measure your team success. So custom activities right down here will allow you to display all your pending, completed, and overdue custom activities. Your deals widget, I think I put it up here. You can check the status of your deals and your overall pipeline while taking progressive action directly from your dashboard. So you can click to access engagement history and insights on key contacts. And you can update deal statuses, add notes to existing deals, or create new deals, all from this widget. The stage funnel down here will allow you to track your sales funnel. You can monitor your active prospects, leads, and opportunities at each stage to see a quick overview of your stages to know where you need to focus to meet your goals. In the pipeline chart right underneath, this shows all of your deals organized by date. The color coding on each bar gives you a visual of the amount of, for the deals you're managing by the stage they're in for that month. And you can also change the different views, weighted or total. And we have different options here as well. Okay, next would be the tasks widget. And here, this will help you follow through with all your to-dos. You can see all your open tasks, your upcoming, overdue, completed, your important tasks, and that could be marked with a star like that. And you can also see your team's tasks as well. So if you go into this drop-down menu, it says My Tasks here, and then on the bottom you have your team's tasks, and you can check that as well. Next up, we have the Events widget, or you can call it Calendars, and this will allow you to review your meetings for the day. So you can select from the drop-down menu and either see all of your calendars or just the calendars you've connected to Nimble. In our Signals widget right here, you can see how your prospects and customers are interacting with you on Twitter. And this is if you connected your Twitter account. Next up, we have our highlighted contacts widget, and I believe this is the last one. And this will give you the option to see important contacts based on parameters you've set, such as title, location, company, or interests. And to personalize the suggestions that you get for your highlighted contacts, you can edit the search criteria in the contact keywords in your Nimble settings. And again, to access that, you go up here to this top right bubble and then select settings from the drop-down menu. And Nimble is going to search these keywords in the social and contact bio for your contacts to bring up relevant people for you to connect with. Okay, and those are the widgets. So now speaking of contacts, let's go to our contacts page. And this is probably going to be the one that you use the most. Nimble has a lot of awesome features, but it's a contacts database at its heart. And from here, you can see all your contacts, just people, just companies, your important contacts, and then we have recently viewed, recently added, recently contacted, and then the last two are the people that you have stay in touch reminders for and the people you've removed. So let's review what an individual contact record looks like in Nimble. Okay, so let's go to important, and let's look at John Ferrara's contact record. So if you don't already know, this is our CEO. So as you can see, all his basic information is at the top left of the contact record, and you can see his picture, his name, his title and workplace, and a short bio, as well as all of his social links. From here, it's also really easy to log notes just by clicking this button and going here. You can also log activities, and these are past activities. You can schedule future activities here. You can also send templated and tracked emails. And you can also add deals to each contact right from the top left. You also have the ability to set up your privacy options here. And they can be shared with everyone. They can be private to you or private to whoever the owner is. They can be viewable to everyone, or you can set up custom privacy groups. Privacy groups are really useful if you want each of your teams and or departments to have different sets of permissions. And this can really speed up onboarding as well. So for example, every time you're adding a new sales rep to your team in Nimble, you can just add them to your sales team settings, and they'll have the same set of permissions as previously determined for your sales team. So again, back to the contact record, you can also set up stay in touch reminders for different time intervals. We have weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually for our default ones, but you can also set up a custom time period. So maybe like every 10 days or every 2 weeks. It's also really easy to reset your reminders and remove them from this menu as well. All right, another useful feature is the ability to assign a contact owner. And so right now it's owned by me, but I can change who it's owned by in this drop-down menu, or I can just leave it unassigned. If I scroll down a little bit, you can also review, edit, and create new tags, as well as qualify leads using fields like rating, status, source, and type. Down here. The individual fields can be customized in settings and data fields. And just to recap, you can access settings by going to the top right bubble, clicking it, and then going down to settings. So on the right-hand side of our contact record, under interactions, you'll see the entire history of the interactions you've had with this person, including all your notes, emails, Twitter messages, deals, and any activities. You can also use the individual tabs right here, because this all tab can be kind of overwhelming, especially as you continue to build your relationship with your contacts. So let's start with the activities tab. Here you can only see the activities, and you can check the different kinds of activities in this drop-down menu. Here will just show your notes. The Messages tab will show all the emails you and your team members have exchanged with your prospects and customers. And also, if you have any Twitter DMs that you've shared, they'll appear here as well. And then lastly, we have the deals. So this one will show all of the associated deals for this contact. So next up, we have the Data Fields tab, and you can create up to 5 custom tabs under each of these. And under each of them, you can have up to 200 individual custom fields. And so all these fields can be segmented. It's ideal to use any specific information you'd like to record. So for data fields, you can also configure them in settings and data fields here. You and your team members can also upload files. So let's go over here. And you can upload them from OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, and you can upload them from your own computer as well. So let's go back to the contacts page and go over segmentation. So let's go to all contacts. You can launch segmentation by either clicking into the main search box on the top of the page right here, or you can click the button that says plus add segment on the left-hand side. And let me demonstrate right now. They're both going to bring you to the same page. You can search across a lot of different data fields to help you organize your contacts into lists by using this feature. And once you've organized your contacts into a list, you can take bulk actions, send group messages, and also set follow-up tasks. So let's do a quick example just to demonstrate how to use it. So let's do last contacted by my team. And I want to make sure that I can email them, so I'm going to put in email is not empty, and that just means that they have an email address. All right, so here are all my contacts who I last contacted or who my team last contacted, and they have email addresses that I can contact. So in order to take bulk actions, I can select the entire list like this, and here we have a new menu that just popped up. So I can mark them all as important. I can tag them. I can set follow-up reminders. And I have other bulk actions here as well, such as changing the owner, changing their privacy, and adding them to a lead pipeline. I can merge them. I'm not going to click that because I don't want to do that right now. I can also export them. So we can do CSV, MailChimp, or vCard. And very importantly, we can also send group messages. So let me click that. So here we have our group message function. So Nimble allows you to send targeted email messages to 100, 200, or 300 contacts per day. And this is a great way to send targeted sales outreach or marketing messages to lists of your contacts. Now, the most common question we get about Nimble's messaging is if it can replace a marketing automation system. And the simple answer for that is no. Our group messaging was designed to be used in conjunction with our segmentation feature. And this allows you to send targeted email outreach. The biggest advantage of Nimble's group messaging is that the messages are sent from your personal email address. So they're going to appear as if they were sent from you and not some anonymous marketing system. Now, when you're composing emails in the group messaging window, you have the option to use merge tags. Sorry, 1 second, I'm about to cough. Okay, so if you pick the first name merge tag, Nimble will automatically grab the first names of everybody on your outreach list. Sorry, excuse me, 1 more second. Sorry about that. I had a tickle in my throat. Anyway, back to group messaging. So if you use the first name merge tag, Nimble will automatically grab the first names of everybody on your outreach list, and this helps you to personalize your messages. You can also attach files and use our formatting options to further customize your email. So to set up your signature, you can go to Email Settings, right here, and then go to Email Signature. And from here, you can either just copy and paste your existing signature, or you can create a new one. All right, so let's go back. So once you create your email, you also have the option to save it as a template by clicking this button on the top. And this will save you time on retyping the same message again in the future as well. And you can also pick from existing templates here by clicking this drop-down menu. So templates are also shareable, and you can also easily share them with your team. So before you send your outreach, you can also send yourself a test message by clicking this on the bottom left. And this can help you to make sure that everything looks good, there are no typos in the message, and all the links you've added are working. And after you've sent your message, you can review the insights on the clicks and opens. In this report, you can see how many people are interacting with your message, and you can also see who opened it, who clicked the links, and how many people haven't opened your message yet. You can use these insights to follow up with people that opened more than once or twice and send them another, maybe possibly templated message. All right, so let's go to activities. All right, so our activities listing function provides you with a comprehensive table of scheduled and completed activities. The table columns can be configured to quickly see which data is important to you. Additionally, activities can be exported. You'll also be able to select the team members for whom you'd like to create the report on the left side. So you can click this export button, and you can also view your different team members' activities. Okay, so let me see. Oh, you can also pick which kinds of activities you want to see specifically and select the time frame on the right-hand side of the screen. So here we have the quick filters for the different kinds of tasks, or different kinds of activities, sorry. So if I wanted to only see tasks, I can click that. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, I can change the time frame by clicking this calendar here. And so once you have the activities and time frame that you'd like to see, as well as which team members, you can go to export and export this way. Okay, and that's activities. Now let's go to leads. So this is a pretty new feature, and it enables you and your team to visualize the progress of your leads. And you can qualify them as they go through the buying phase and ultimately convert to a sale. You can utilize the customizable Kanban boards to create multiple pipelines and stages that suit your business needs. At the beginning of your lead generation process, you can find yourself with a bunch of potential deals sitting at the early stages of your pipeline. And these deals might not be ready to move forward through the sales process, but also may not be cold enough to be marked as lost or deleted. This can cause a lot of clutter in your deals pipeline and can distract you from focusing on the deals that require your attention. So in Nimble, you can add leads to your account before adding them to your deals pipelines. The lead pipeline is a separate pipeline to store your pre-qualified leads before they become deals. And once you decide that a lead is qualified, you can easily convert leads to deals and add them directly into your pipeline to start your sales process. So leads can be imported into your account via spreadsheets or an API, and they can allow you to organize your potential contacts before moving them to your sales pipeline. Leads can be moved into your pipeline in bulk using our segmentation feature as well, as I kind of went over a while ago. So after you've acquired a new lead, it'll go through a series of phases to be qualified. Now, depending on your business, these qualifications may include scheduling a sales call, sending a marketing message, sending a quote, etc. Now, to set up your sales or your lead pipeline so it reflects your internal processes, visit the Leads tab. That's the one right up here. And then choose Settings. So the Settings button is all the way on the right side on the top corner. So once you're here, you can click Add New Pipeline to start the process of naming your pipeline and creating stages. You'll be able to not only name your stage, but add instructions for each stage. And so I'm just going to use this one as an example. And here you can see all the different stages. And I can click this button here, Edit Stages, to either rename them or delete them. And when you're ready, make sure that you click the Save Changes button. I didn't make any changes, so the button's not here, but it would be at the bottom. So let's move on to lost reasons. So here we have unsuccessful exit reasons, or lost reasons, if you'd like to call them that. And these can help you to better understand the trends and ways to improve. So right now, here I have two options, but I can add another one here if I'd like to, or I can delete them. If I scroll down a little bit, we can see lead card fields. And you can customize the list of fields here so that they're relevant to your business. The fields that you select will appear at a glance on the lead card back in the lead pipeline view. So if I go back to the Leads tab, as you can see here, the fields that I have selected in my lead card appear here. So I have the title, workplace, phone number, and email here, as well as their Twitter, but they don't have a Twitter. Full info about your lead can also be found in the contact record or by switching to the listing view. So here's the listing view. And again, you can see the full contact data. And so that's our lead pipelines feature. Let's move on to deals. You can use the deals feature to manage sales opportunities, marketing projects, regular projects, renewals, and more. So Nimble allows you to create as many pipelines as you need. The account owner can delegate permissions to different users to be able to configure and create pipelines. To create a new pipeline or edit an existing pipeline, you can go to Customize Pipelines. We have that button here in the top left. To create a brand new pipeline, you can click Add Deal Pipeline, and then you can name it and start creating the individual pipeline stages. So I'm just going to use this one as an example. So the number of stages in this pipeline completely depends on your sales process. You can easily drag and drop them if you need to change the order. So just click it and drag it. And you can rename them as well by clicking this Edit button, and you can change the name or the limit of days in the stage. And you can see that they're all set to 30 right now. All right, and so that's how you can edit it. Now, if we go back to the main tab view, you can select to see your deals in the pipeline or the list. So in the leads pipeline, the options are up here in the top middle, but on the deals one, they're on the top right. So right now I have it in pipeline. You can change it to list by clicking the other side. Okay, so let's go into creating a new deal. So you can select new deal on the top left corner. And from here, you can name the deal, relate the deal to multiple contacts. You can add a value for the deal. You can schedule an expected close date, project the probability of it closing, and choose the beginning stage for your deal. To export your deals from Nimble, you can click Export to CSV. So let me close this. And it's this button in the top left. And you can choose which deals you'd like to export. So you can select all, active, won, or lost. And you can also export lists based on deals owned by specific team members by this drop-down menu right here. And that's our deals feature. So next, let's go on to reports. So Nimble enables you to build reports for specific pipelines during any time period you select. So you can choose from one of our preset time periods or use the calendar icon at the top of the page to set your own right here. So let's go to our dashboard. The dashboard is where you can view yourself and your team members' deal progress at a glance. Right now, I don't really have any deals in my account, but this is where you would see all of this information. Next up, we have our forecasted deals, and this will show you all your future deal outlooks. And again, you can select by the preset time periods or create your own with the calendar icon. And last on our reports, we have deal history, and this is where you can view all historic deal results, sorting by time intervals, same as here, and you can also customize with this icon as well. And that covers all of Nimble's main features. So now let's take a look at how you can use our browser extension and email add-ons to access Nimble from the places where you probably spend the most time in. So let me get out of this full screen view. So here on the top right corner, I have installed Nimble Prospector. I would just click that icon and it opens up. Nimble Prospector is a browser extension that is available on Firefox, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Safari. And it works on any website, in any third-party cloud-based application, and on any social media platform. Okay, now speaking of social media, Nimble Prospector will allow you to create new contact records and update existing ones straight from LinkedIn. So let's go to LinkedIn here. You can simply hover over any hyperlinked name anywhere on LinkedIn. So if I go here, I can just hover over her name. Oh, let me open up Prospector and then do that. Okay, so as you can see, it automatically opens up and creates a contact record. Or I can go into her page here and highlight her name and see it does the same thing. So let me just add her as a contact. And Nimble will also work on any company website as well. So you can do the same thing on like the About Us page of a company website. You would just highlight their name and it'll bring up an existing contact record or create a new one for you. And so that's Nimble Prospector on LinkedIn. So let's take a look at how it works in Outlook now. Let me just close this out. Here we go. So for Outlook on desktop, you'll need to install the Nimble Outlook add-on, and you'll be able to click on the Nimble icon on the top right corner to bring it up. So that's right here. Now, if you open it up on an email from a person that you already have an existing contact for, you'll be able to update the record as well as do the following. So let me just move this little window here. It's blocking me. All right. So with these icons, you can mark them as important, set a stay in touch reminder, and you can also create notes, tasks, deals, etc., and see the history of your interactions with them. And the web app is basically the same thing. So let me open this up here and go to Outlook on the web app. The only difference is that the Nimble icon is going to be kind of in the header of the email. So we would just click that and it shows pretty much the exact same thing with the same options. Now for Gmail, sorry, let me open that up for you. If you already have Nimble Prospector installed, the Gmail extension will automatically appear in your Gmail account. So it just shows up here where Nimble Prospector is. And you'll be able to do everything that we already covered for Outlook and the Outlook web app. So with that being said, that covers all of Nimble's main features and Nimble Prospector's features. So I'm going to go start looking into our questions. All right, so let me just go back to my presentation slides. Oh yeah, so before I go into our questions, here are our next webinars. So our next one on Wednesday of next week will be Nimble for Teams. And this will be great for anyone who's working with a larger team and needs help kind of setting it up that way. And we also have our general overviews every other week. So the next week after that, we're going to have our general overview, then using segmentation and another general overview. And you can view all of our webinars and sign up for them by clicking the webinar link. Nadia, could you please share the webinar link in the chat? Additionally, as a special offer for new users who attended today, you can sign up and get 30 days of Nimble for free by going to nimble.com/offers/webinar30. And you can also see that in the chat. And then now it's time for questions. So let me open up the questions box. All right. So will a replay be available? Yes, this webinar was recorded, and we're going to be posting it on YouTube shortly after the webinar is over. All right, so our next question is, do you recommend starting with contacts and converting to a lead from Robin? And the answer is yes, especially if you already created the contact record. So at the moment on the Leads tab, you can only create new contact records. Okay, other questions? Let's see. I'll give it a second. Okay, doesn't seem like anyone has any other questions. Oh, I got one from Monica. So how many emails can be sent using the group messaging or group email? So I kind of covered it. You can send up to 100, 200, or 300 emails depending on your account plan, I believe. Let me just check up on that answer real quick. But just to kind of elaborate on that, our group messaging is mostly meant for targeted outreach. So if you are trying to send like mass marketing emails, our group messaging isn't meant to, our group messaging isn't meant to replace a marketing system. So I hope that kind of answers your question. All right, so I'm just gonna wait. Okay, so it seems like that would be all of our questions. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to stay connected with us, we're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, though we don't really use Instagram as much lately. So do follow us on those platforms and hope to see you in the next training webinar. Have a great rest of your day and thank you again.